Ever since being relegated from Serie A in 2017, Palermo have had it rough. Despite an 11th place finish in Serie B in 2019, they were relegated all the way down to Serie D due to financial mismanagement. And if you think relegation to Serie D is bad enough, Palermo have never ever won the Coppa Italia and they've never won the Serie A. So it is time to bring some success and glory to Palermo FC. So before we get into today's video, lads, I just want to say a massive Merry Christmas to all the subscribers who do celebrate Christmas. Now, if you want to see me rebuild someone in the AFC, let me know in the comment section down below and I will get round to rebuilding them. And if you enjoy this content, boys, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channels. It really helps me out. We are so close now to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get Palermo rebuilt. So this is the Palermo team we've loaded into, lads, and do you know what? I was expecting it to be a lot worse. We've actually got some very good players at the club like Di Francesco, Ronori and Insigne. And on first inspection, lads, I actually quite like this formation, so we're going to stick with this formation for the rebuild. Now, I do have one major issue with this Palermo team. The bulk of the squad is over 25 years old as we scroll through. So one thing we are going to have to do in this rebuild is bring some youth into the football club and get it done quickly as well. However, we will not have the option to do that at least until January the 1st, as the first summer transfer window is always disabled in these rebuilds. So the tactical vision we're going to go for in this rebuild, lads, is the wing play tactical vision. We've not yet used it and I want to have an emphasis on really good attacking play down the flanks. So that will mean having very good fullbacks and very good wingers at Palermo. We've had a play about with the starting 11, lads, and this is the team we're going to take going to January the 1st, and I think it looks really good on paper for a Serie B side. However, there are some players in this squad who are aging that we do need to replace going forward. But for the time being, I'm hoping this team can sneak us at least into the playoffs. When we arrive in January, lads, and we can start bringing some players in, we'll have 8 million euros to do it, which is not actually too bad. So if we arrive at January the 1st, lads, and we currently sit top of Serie B, 3 points clear of second place Parma, and we are 7 points clear of third place Como, lads. What a season we are having as Palermo manager. Now, on the run up to January, lads, we did have one outgoing. Francesco Di Mariano has joined Cremonese for 2.3 million euros as he handed in a transfer request, meaning we have got 10 million euros to improve our squad in this window. Now, the first position that I want to improve, lads, is the centre midfielder position because it's the lowest rated in the squad. Henderson's only here on loan for the season. Gomez, while being a decent young midfielder, isn't the highest of overalls, and Stulak is 71 rated and 29 years old. So I want to bring in a centre midfielder who's better than all of them, who's also got high potential as well. We've had one more outgoing, lads. Nicolo Valente will join Wolfsburg at AC when his contract expires in the summer. We're also going to be letting Ivan Marconis and Adnan Kanuric's contracts expire as well, as they're both not good enough to play for Palmero. So I said I wanted a centre midfielder who was better than all the ones we currently have and who also has insane potential, and we have brought one in, lads, and we've used Stewalic as part of the deal. We have signed Eduardo Bo from Roma for 8.5 million euros plus Leo Stewalic. He's 21 years old and 785 rated, lads. What a pickup this is. And that leaves us with 730,000 euros, lads, so our transfer window is done, meaning this will be the Palermo team to take us through to the end of the season, and I think that looks much stronger in the middle of the park now I've added in both. So with our transfer window finished, lads, we're now simulating forward to the end of the season, and I just hope we're playing Serie A football next season. So we've reached the end of the season, lads, and as you can see, we won the Serie B title, finishing 5 points clear of second place Parma. Palermo are playing Serie A football next season. So this will be the Palermo team that takes us into Serie A, lads, and to be honest with you, we definitely need to improve in a few positions. I would like 2 new fullbacks at least, as they are not good enough for Serie A football, and I'd also like to bring in a very young high potential winger as well. Our best player this season, lads, was club captain Matteo Brunori. He got 16 goals and 3 assists in 38 games, very closely followed by Federico Di Francesco, who got 16 goals and 7 assists, and Roberto Insigne, who got 14 goals and 8 assists. We also had a decent run in the Coppa Italia, lads. We got to the round of 16 where we were beaten by AC Milan. There's no shame in that. So let's jump into Season 2, lads, and attack the Serie A. We've arrived in Season 2, lads, and we've got a measly 16 million euros to improve our squad. But it looks like, lads, we're going to have to sell some players in order to gather some funds. So, lads, you may recall last season I said I wanted a new striker, and I have found the man. Lorenzo Luca, a 6'7", 23-year-old Italian striker. He's 74 rated. He's got very good potential. We are bringing him to Palermo this summer. And for 7.1 million euros, lads, Lorenzo Luca is a Palmero player. And as Insigne is 74 rated and 30-year-old, lads, I feel like I want an improvement in the right winger position. So we have identified Facundo Palestri to replace him, lads. He's 73 rated and 22-year-old, and I expect him to be an amazing signing for us. And for just 6 million euros, lads, Palestri is now a Palmero player. Now, I know what you're thinking, lads. Scott, you said you wanted to bring in some fullbacks. Well, at the minute, we are going through the process of selling some players, and we have got a lot to sell, by the way. And all the funds we raise with them sales, we are going to use to bring in a left back and a right back, and that will see see our window done. And lads, I've just noticed that Christopher Hansen, our 72 rated left back, is only 22 years old, so I'm going to give him another season to develop. So we're only going to be focusing on a right back, lads. So we've managed to raise some funds, lads, and there has been some outgoings. Giacomo Corona has joined Whitecaps FC for 2.5 million. Eduardo Solieri has joined FC Famalicão for 2 million euros. Manfredi Nespolo has joined Lodz for 460k. Giuseppe Aurelio has joined Norwich for 2.9 million euros. Roberto Insigne has joined Sassuolo for 6 million euros. Jeremy Bro has joined Al Shabab for 1.35 million euros. Ales Matadju has joined Lecce for 1.85 million. And finally, Dario Saric has joined Stuttgart for 3.65 million, meaning we've got 20 million euros to bring in a right back. And I've identified Amar Dedic as our right back target. He's 21 years old, 76 rated, and has got immense potential in this game. And for 16.5 million euros, lads, Dedic is a Palermo player. And that leaves us with just 2 million euros, so that means our transfer window's finished. Meaning this will be the Palermo team to take us through to January the 1st, lads, and I think we've got a really good side on paper there, and I think staying up should not be an issue. So there's going to be no more incomings and no more outgoings in this window, lads. We're going to be simulating forward to January the 1st, and I'm just hoping to see Palermo sat mid-table. So if we arrived at January the 1st, lads, and we currently sit 9th in Serie A, we have had an outstanding start to the season. I genuinely could not have asked for a better start to life in the Serie A. Now, given the fact we've only got 2 million euros to spend, lads, we're not going to be bringing anyone in this window. We're going to be simulating forward to the end of the season, and I'd just be happy to retain a mid-table place, lads. So we've reached the end of the season, lads, and we finished 9th in Serie A on 52 points, and we were only 8 points off a European place. I think it's safe to say, lads, that our first season back in Serie A was a massive success. Now, looking at the team, lads, we had some excellent growth this season with both hitting 80 rated, the first Palermo player to hit 80 rated of the rebuild. We also had excellent growth from our three new boys, Luca, Palestri and Dedic. And as well as that, Di Francesco, at 30 years old, grew by 4 overalls this season. He's a beast. So it's safe to say, lads, the squad is looking very competitive now, but going into next season, I definitely want to bring in a new centre-back and a new centre midfielder. In terms of stats, lads, Lorenzo Luca had a brilliant season, getting 25 goals and 5 assists in 39 games. And at 6'7", I reckon most of them were headers. And heading into season 3, lads, I think if we bring the right personnel in, we could definitely push for a Conference League spot. And we had a very poor run in the Coppa Italia, lads. We only got to the 3rd round where we were beaten 3-2 by Genoa. So we have arrived in season 3, lads, and we have got 32 million euros to spend. Now, admittedly, that's not a lot, so we're going to have to be very sensible with our transfers this summer. So given the fact, lads, we've got European aspirations this season and the funds are so limited, I've had to turn my attention to the free agents list, and I have found an absolutely unbelievable regen centre-back. We have brought in Giulio Berardi on a 5-year deal. Berardi's 18 years old and 76 rated, lads, and he goes straight into our starting 11. So I had a bit of a thought, lads, and I decided I want to keep the bulk of this Palermo team Italian. And we have found a very exciting young centre midfielder in the French league in Cher Undor. We've already had a 9 million euro fee agreed with him, and I'm going to bring him into Palermo this summer. And just like that, lads, Cher Undor is a Palermo player. We've brought in another high potential Italian centre midfielder, lads, and this time he joins us from Ajax. We have signed Patrick Nuama for 2.3 million euros, lads, and he will be a backup this season. He's 19-year-old and 68 rated, lads, and he's got excellent potential in this year's FIFA. Now, after those 3 incomings, lads, we're still left with 17 million euros, and I do want one more centre-back in this window. So as you can see, lads, we have been busy scouting centre-backs from all walks of the planet. However, we have decided we're going to try to bring in Zeno Dibas from Herenveen. They're going to want between 12.7 and 15.9 million euros, lads, so I think we can make this deal happen. And we have brought Zeno Dibas to Palermo for 13.2 million euros. We've also made one final signing of the summer, lads. We had no left midfield backup at all, so we have brought in Oscar Pereira on a free contract. And now we are left with just 5 million euros, so I can't see us bringing anyone else in for that kind of money. Meaning this will be the Palermo team to take us into season 3, lads, and I am very excited to see this team in action. We haven't brought in any world-class players, but we have brought in players with very high potential who could reach 80 rated this season. As in season 1, one thing I said was I want to bring the average age of the squad down, and we've done that massively. Other than Di Francesco and Piglicelli, lads, the entire starting 11 is under 24 years old. I think we've done amazing to get the team so young. So we've reached deadline day, lads, and besides some youth players going out on loan and ultimately being sold, we've had one notable outgoing to bring you up to date with. Pietro Cesarone has joined Leicester City for 2.9 million euros, lads, and that is our transfer window finished. So we've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and honestly, I'm a little bit shocked. We are currently 2nd in Serie A, 1 point behind tabletop in Napoli, on 39 points, and we are 6 points clear of 5th place Juventus, meaning we are rooted into the Champions League places. And looking at the team, lads, a lot of players have now at 80 red, but that is not a mind-blowing team on paper. Like, you'd expect that team to be like a Conference League level side, definitely not 2nd in Serie A. Now, unfortunately for us, we do only have 8 million euros, so we won't be bringing anyone in this window. So I'm just hoping now we can keep up this impressive form and actually clinch Champions League. But lads, even if we drop down to a Conference League, I'll still be happy. I just want to be in Europe next season. We've reached the end of the season, lads, and I cannot quite believe what I'm looking at. We actually managed to secure 4th place in Serie A, and we are playing Champions League football next season. We narrowly beat Juventus by 1 point to the final Champions League place, lads. I am so happy with our performance this season, and this is the Palermo team that will take us into the Champions League next season. And as you can see, both Gomez, Luke Luca, Palestri, Dedic, Berardi and Debast. Everyone really has had excellent growth at this season. Going into next season though, lads, we are going to have to improve the squad and get it Champions League ready. We definitely need a better goalkeeper than Piglicelli. And if I'm honest, lads, the rest of the team's growing so well, I might just put every single resource we have into bringing in a world-class goalkeeper. Now, our standout performer of the season was Facundo Palestri, getting 23 goals and 3 assists, closely followed by Federico Di Francesco. He got 22 goals and 13 assists at 31 years of age. This guy is just getting better and better with age. We performed slightly better in the Coppa Italia, getting to the quarterfinals where Roma knocked us out 4-2. So let's get into season 4, lads, and see how Palermo get on in the Champions League. So we've arrived in season 4, lads, and we've got 87 million euros to improve our squad. I'm going to have fun with this money. So as you know, lads, we're in the market for a goalkeeper, and I've found the target I want to bring in. Marco Carnesecchi, 84 rated 26-year-old goalkeeper, currently earning his trade in the Premier League. I want to bring him back to Italy. And for 48 million euros plus Piglicelli, we have brought Marco Carnesecchi back to Italy, and he's going to be our first choice goalkeeper. We made another incoming, lads. We brought in Junior Firpo on a free contract on a 2-year deal just to give us some defensive cover for this season. Now, we do still have 40 million euros of our transfer budget remaining, lads. And although he's been an amazing servant for us, Federico Di Francesco's development plan is now showing that he's going to start decreasing in overall, and it's going to be happening within the next couple of weeks. Therefore, I'm thinking, lads, we might have to bring in a new left winger to replace Di Francesco as he's on the way down. So, lads, we have identified a left winger we want to bring into the football club, and it is Matteo Cancellieri from Lazio. He's 79 rated and 24-year-old, so he's a little bit of a downgrade on Di Francesco right now, but I've got no doubt he'll grow into be an excellent player. And for 23.4 million euros, lads, Cancellieri is a Palermo player. And after the signing of Cancellieri, lads, we do still have 24 million euros, but I don't think with that money we're going to bring anyone in who actually makes our first team better. Meaning this will be the Palermo team to take us into season 4 on our first season in the Champions League. And to be honest with you, lads, I know it's not the best looking team on paper for Champions League level, but I do think we can give a good account of ourselves and at least get through the groups. And we have had a few outgoings to get you up to date with, lads. Inut Nedosiru joined Braga for 4.25 million. Jacobo Segre joined Genoa for 2.75 million. Matteo Brunori joined Fenerbahce for 6.5 million euros. And a few youth academy players went on loan as well. So there'll be no more incomings or outgoings at least until January the 1st. Our first Champions League group as Palermo bosses in, lads, and we've got PSG, Ajax and Shakhtar Donetsk. It's safe to say we have got the group of death this time round. So let's simulate forward to January the 1st and see if we got through the group of death. So we're after January the 1st, lads, and we currently sit 4th in Serie A, just 4 points off tabletop, and Inter Milan will once again smashing it in the Serie A. However, lads, it is disappointment in the Champions League. We ended up finishing 3rd. Shakhtar Donetsk and PSG absolutely dominated the group. That means we are playing Europa League football, and we have been drawn to FC Porto in the preliminary round of the Europa League. Now, we have got 23 million euros, lads, but I don't actually think we can use that money to bring in anyone who actually comes in and makes a starting 11 better, so we're going to save that money for next season. We've arrived at the end of the season, lads, and we have just snuck into the Champions League places once again, finishing in 4th place, 1 point clear once again of Roma, and we are playing Champions League football again next season. And we have won our first piece of silverware of the Palermo rebuild. We have beaten Inter Milan 2-1 to win the Coppa Italia, lads, and this is Palermo's first ever major honour. What a moment. However, we could not make the Europa League final as we were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Inter Milan 2-1. Now, this is how the starting 11 is looking at the end of the season, lads, and as you can see, we've had excellent growth from Debast, Berardi and Dorton Gomez. They've all reached 80 plus potential, but the main grower of this season, lads, is Carnesecchi, the goalkeeper. He has grown to 88 overall. What a beast he is, and what an amazing pickup for just 48 million. Now, in terms of stats, lads, Lorenzo Luca regained his title as top scorer, getting 36 goals and 14 assists. Facundo Palestri had a great season, getting 20 goals and 6 assists, and Dor is definitely adding goals and assists to his game, getting 16 and 11, and Eduardo Bov also had a good season, getting 13 and 10. So the goals are starting to trickle through the entire team now, lads, and the midfielders are starting to get in on the act, which is exactly what we need. Now, going into next season, lads, I think it's glaringly obvious where we need to improve the squad. Hansen needs to be replaced in the left-back position, and do you know what, lads? Cancellieri just has not worked this season. He's only grown by 2 overalls. He didn't score many goals, and I'm thinking maybe we should bring in a left winger to replace him. So we've arrived in season 5, lads, and we've got 133 million euros to spend. So as we know, lads, we're in the market for a left-back, and I've identified 85 rated Italian left-back Fabinho Parisi as our main target. And for a club record 72.8 million euros, Parisi is coming to Palermo. And boys, you're not going to believe it. We recently negotiated a new contract with Eduardo Bov, and I didn't realise there was a release clause in it, and Crystal Palace of all clubs have paid a release clause of 115 million euros, meaning Bov is now a Crystal Palace player, and we've got to bring in a centre midfielder. However, every cloud does have a silver lining, lads, and we have got 153 million euros to bring in his replacement. And to replace Bov, we have identified one of the best centre midfielders in the world. Fabio Miretti, 86 rated Italian, 23 years old, and he currently plays for Aston Villa. However, it's going to use up the bulk of our budget to bring him to Palermo. And for a whopping 114.5 million euros, lads, Fabio Miretti is a Palermo player. And after the signing of Miretti, lads, we're left with 33 million euros. And that means, lads, it's good news for Cancellieri because we cannot afford to bring in a better left winger than him, so he's got one more chance to impress me. We've reached deadline day, lads, and besides the sale of both, we only had one other outgoing to bring you up to date with. Junior Firpo joined Genoa for 6.2 million euros as he ended in a transfer request. That's our transfer window finished, lads. And our Champions League group is in, lads, and it is an interesting one. We've got Liverpool, Union Berlin, and Victoria Pleasant. We need to be getting through that group, as going in the group stages at this stage of the rebuild is just not acceptable. We've arrived at January the 1st, lads, and we've had a very disappointing start to the season. We currently sit 5th in the Europa League spot. However, we are only 1 point outside of the top 4 and only 5 points off top of the league, so we've got to buck up in the second half of the season and actually be challenging for the title. However, we had much more success in the Champions League, lads. We finished 2nd in our group despite finishing on 15 points. Liverpool top the group, and we will play none other than Manchester City in the round of 16. It does not get much harder than that, does it? However, there is some good news, lads, as we won the Super Cup, beat Inter Milan 2-0 in the final, winning our 2nd trophy of the rebuild. We've reached the end of the transfer window, lads. We've had one outgoing. Patrick Nwame has joined Genoa on loan till the end of the season, and there's been no incomings, lads. We've reached the end of the season, lads, and we've finished 4th in Serie A. We just cannot crack the league title, can we? 4 points off tabletop in AC Milan, but we are narrowing down the distance between us and the top of the league every single season. And we completed a domestic double, lads, once again beating Napoli in the final. This time we've won the Coppa Italia again. However, we could not reach the Champions League final as AC Milan will take on Bayern Munich. We made the semi-finals where we were knocked out by AC Milan 4-2 over 2 legs. I'm absolutely gutted, lads. But we have had some major growth. Some of the players in our starting 11 like Palestri, Luca, Miretti and Dor. So the squad looks really strong on paper, lads. Going into season 6 though, I do think we need a new left winger to replace Cancellieri, and I wouldn't mind bringing in a new centre back to replace Berardi as well. In terms of stats, lads, Lorenzo Luca was by far our best player, getting 34 goals and 15 assists. He's been an absolute monster in this rebuild. Facundo Palestri had a great season again, getting 25 goals and 7 assists. But let's just talk about Fabio Miretti. In his first season for Palermo, got 21 goals and 8 assists from centre midfield. So getting into season 6, lads, we need to improve the first team and start challenging for the Serie A title because we've not won it yet. So we've arrived in season 6, lads, and we've got 177 million euros to spend, and we need to spend that money wisely. But lads, as you know, we've got 178 million euros to spend, and I really want to bring in a new left winger. And AC Milan just win the Serie A every single season, so I need to make them weaker in the process. So we have identified the best player, Rafael Leao, 91 rated 29-year-old left winger, as our primary target of the summer. And for a whopping 157.9 million euros, Rafael Leao is a Palermo player. And that deal leaves us with just 16 million euros, so it's safe to say our transfer window is done. Meaning this will be the Palermo team to take us through to January the 1st, and I think that team looks amazing on paper. Now, unfortunately, we did not have enough money left over to bring in the new centre-back, but that doesn't matter, lads. I think with that attacking three, we've got such a good chance to get into the Champions League final and even winning Serie A. We've reached the end of the transfer window, lads, and the rest of them we're going to bring you up to date with. Alessio Botaro has joined Sporting CP on loan for the season, and Christopher Hansen has handed in a transfer request, so he's gone to Lecce for 21 million euros, bringing a close to our transfer window. Now, our Champions League group is in, lads, and it's not easy. We've got Atletico Madrid, Galatasaray and Genk. So we have arrived at January the 1st, lads, and we currently sit 2nd in the Serie A, 1 point off tabletop in Roma. There's a genuine chance we could actually win the Serie A this season. We also breezed through our Champions League group, lads, 3 wins, 3 draws, and we will take on AS Monaco in the round of 16. That's not a bad draw, you know. And we've also retained the Super Cup, lads. We beat AC Milan 4-3 in a pulsating final. So we've reached the end of the transfer window, lads. We've had no outgoings and no incomings, so we're simulating forward to the end of the season right now. We've arrived at the end of the season, lads, and we have won our first ever Serie A title and the first Serie A title of Palermo's history, finishing 10 points clear of second place Inter Milan, losing just twice all season. What a performance on Palermo FC. And they may as well change the name of the Coppa Italia to the Palermo Cup. We've won it for the 3rd consecutive season, beating Juventus 1-0 in the final. And lads, we're in the Champions League final and we're playing RB Leipzig. So we breezed past Monaco, beating them 4-1 over 2 legs. And we got another favourable draw in the quarterfinals, getting Bayer Leverkusen, who we beat 6-3 over 2 legs. And then, lads, luck just must be on our side, because look at the last 4 of the Champions League: Celtic, Leipzig and Atletico Club. We beat Atletico Club 2-1 over 2 legs to set up a final with RB Leipzig. And do you know what, lads? I really fancy our chances here. So this is the starting 11 that has got us to a Champions League final, won us our first Serie A title and won us 3 consecutive Coppa Italias. And I have to say, lads, it is absolutely monstrous on paper. So it's no surprise that this team has dominated Italian football and got to the Champions League final. And before we get into the final, lads, we will check over the stats, and Lorenzo Luca retains his crown as top scorer, getting 38 goals and 6 assists, but Facundo Palestri has added a lot of goals to his game, scoring 32 goals and 9 assists. Rafael Leao chipped him with 18 goals and 9 assists, and Cher Undor chipped in with 14 and 11. So some very, very good returns there from our players. And all that's left to do, lads, is to play against RB Leipzig at the San Siro for the Champions League trophy. Let's get this trophy won, boys. So here we go, lads. It is RB Leipzig versus Palermo for the Champions League trophy. And you might have noticed, lads, I have actually got a bit of a dodgy left eye because I've recently had steel in it. So hopefully that doesn't put me off too much. Leo. Look at the... Oh, my God. Look at the pace of Leo. Look at the pace of Leo. Oh, my God. It's 5 minutes in, lads. It's 5 minutes in. We're 5 minutes into the final, and Leo has just done that. That's why we paid the big bucks for him, lads. That's why we brought world record transfer fees to bring him in. Watch this from Leo. The pace. They cannot get near him. Too quick for all of them. Gets into the box, and he just places it straight past Onana. 1-0 to Palermo. In a bad position as well. Gusto's in.
Nope.
What a tackle. I've tackled my own player. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Nope.
What a save. Get a foot in. Oh my God. What a save again by Karnasechi. Wow. That's why he's 90 rated, lads. That's why he signed 90 rated goalkeepers. Here's me saying we're going to have an easy final against Leipzig. They're absolutely smashing us. Oh dear. Foot in. Oh, that's a big save again. He's wasted. That's 3 huge chances for Leipzig in like half an hour. Luca. Oh my God. What are we doing? And Palestri. And Palestri's away. Oh, Palestri, that's amazing. Oh, my God. Tell you what, lads, Leipzig have been brilliant, to be fair. Karnasechi is the reason why we're winning. And it's half-time, lads. We are 1-0 up, but we have been riding our luck in this first half. Leipzig will feel hard done by that. They're not on level terms, at least. They were 45 minutes away from Champions League glory, but I do feel like Leipzig are going to create more chances. And Joe. Luca. Oh, God, what a goal this will be. Onana. Wow. Wow, Onana. That is a big, big moment in this final. Oh, my God. Right, this is a big chance. Leo's in. I need someone past 2. Luca. Oh my God, Onana. Karnasechi in the first half, Onana in the second half. What are these keepers on? We're on 65 minutes, lads. It has been an entertaining end-to-end final. There's only 1 goal in it. I'm starting to get a bit nervous, you know. Berardi, overhead kick. Oh my God. Debast. Oh my God. Can you imagine if that went in? Luca. Right, come on. Oh my God. I'm going for a dink as well.
Finish him. KO.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Nah, that is the best goal we've scored in the Champions League final yet, lads. Oh my God. Are you joking me? That was disgusting from Luca. Wow. Leipzig have made chances in this game, so it's definitely not over. What a tackle. What a tackle from Dedic. That's how you stop an attack, lads. That is how you stop an attack. Get through them. Adley whips it in. Oh my God. There's me saying what a tactical fellow that is. Well, Leipzig have got one back, and it's going to be an interesting final 10 minutes. And it's a really good header as well. It's right into the side net, and keeper's got no chance. And, well, we've got 5 minutes to hold on. Carlos Augusto with the goal. I don't matter, lads. It's full time. We have won the Champions League with Palermo, and Jesus, that was an intense final. Here's me. We're going to have an easy final against Leipzig. Wow, that was a hard game. A piece of Lorenzo Luca brilliance is what brings the Champions League back to Palermo. From Serie B to the Champions League final, Claudio Gomez will lift the Champions League trophy for Palermo. And Palermo are the champions of Europe, boys. Get in there. And that's another successful rebuild in the bag, lads. I just want to say a massive thank you if you managed to make it this far, lads. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it really, really helps me. At the time of recording, we're like 20 subscribers away from 1,000, so thank you so much for all the support. And I will see you in the next one where we go to the Scottish Leagues.